And he would have said, I'm going to be at this program at such and such time, and those of us that support him, we're there. But not until the word has gotten out, somebody done picked up the phone and said Imam is here, then the crowd doubles and triples. So we listening to word of mouth or listening to the people out there, and then but the enemy, he's behind all of that. We used to be believers that say we hear and we obey. If we set our mind and say we're going to support this program, we should go and support it, whether Imam show up or not. If he there, good. If he not, we here because this is the date of the program until somebody officially changes it. And our charity should be the same way. We have to be consistent. Our Quran teaches us that Allah blesses us for our consistent work and for our patience and the patience that we have. That's consistent patience, and sacrifice, not what we do haphazardly. And same thing when I was a cat. If you can't participate in the program, you can ask some of the imams around the country. They send me tickets to their local programs and ask them, what do I do? I send them 10, 15, 20, whatever the ticket price is. I can't be there physically because, of course, it probably costs me hundreds of dollars to be there for a local event that might not make as much money as my plane ticket costs. But I still send my $25 there. So that's the kind of community that we need to be in order to grow. And I had put this out there in the air before. Imam Muhammad, he wasn't a person that Allah sent to us to guide us and to hold our hands and, like Moses, lead us out of bondage and to the promised land. He was a person sent with a message and education so that we can lead ourselves for the next 1,000 years, for the rest of to the judgment day, to where Allah wants us to be. So we need to study the things he did and his strategies and what he practiced. The business strategy is ingenious. My wife has always reminded me of the intelligence, just based on the intelligence of Imam Deen Mohammed, not him as a moral figure or as a scholar, a religious scholar, but just on his level of human intelligence. He said, if we can get 500 of us to donate $2,000, we had $1 million quicker than we can open our mouths. If it's 500 in us in a room, and the average one of us got $2,000 in the bank account that we can put on the table with trust. We believers, we know each other. So this is something easy we could do. But you don't just do it haphazardly. You don't just give it to some imam. You get a plan, you get a business plan, you get the best minds of your people together, which is what he did, and form a business organization, and you have people that you're going to contract and that you're going to trust to take the responsibility of handling your money and your charities. And let's say it fails. Let's say we invested in something that we found out week after we bought it, it wasn't worth nothing. But what'd you sacrifice? $2,000. We blow that on. You look at your account every year. I'm willing to put $2,000 away and wait on y'all to get a business plan. Every year from this year on, I'm going to put $2,000 away, and I'm say this $2,000 is for our business plan for our community. If we don't have a business plan, then we're going to donate it to the most eligible or needy mosques, the most progressive mosques that we see, people that are trying to follow in the footsteps of Imam Muhammad and keep this community vibrant and the masjid and the school and things vibrant. That's easy to do because as a community, they mock us and laugh at us. The economists and the world, they say that African American people, that we're like the third largest. It's more of y'all that study the the economy market more than I do. It's one he walking out here. He can probably tell me what Muhammad. How much they say we produce as a African American people? We like the third largest country in the world or something. How many billions in revenue that we produce as a people, but none of it turns over?
$1 trillion.
$1 trillion.
Yes.
$1 trillion. Now I can't even count to $1 trillion. I don't think I can count to $1 million. To be honest with you, my resources are not that vast. So I ain't gonna lie to you and tell you we should try to get $1 trillion. But I can tell you, in almost a blink of an eye, if we wanted $1 million, and $1 million is seed money for anything, we can break ground.
We're 10th in the world.
10th in the world.
In the world.
African American people, these people who aren't a people, we are people that were destroyed. A genocide was created. We were destroyed. We have no connection other than our genes and our black skin to the motherland where we came from. We are new people all over again because of that, and we 10th in the world. So we can produce. We are producers. We major producers. This is something that we can do. But I say this often, and I've said it before, our nectar is too sweet for the people. We food now. We not people no more. We look like people. We, the movies they put out there with the zombies and all that, that's science fiction, but that's real. There's a science behind that. That we the food. The zombies, we taste too sweet for them. They want to eat our brain, our flesh, and everything because we make them rich. We make them wealthy. And on a lighter note, we outdoors now, so I'm being comical. This is a more beautiful way to explain the same thing. I was watching a nature program, and they have in Africa they call it this yafu or something. I think it's the army ants or something, but it's an African ant, or it's an ant. It's everywhere. The big heavy ant. It's about 3 times bigger than the other ant, the black ant. They call it the army ant. They have colonies that they live in, and they have a structure. The reason why they call them an army ant because they work together as one unit. There are thousands of them, but they all work together as if they have one mind, and it's for the survival of their colony of the babies, and to feed and to protect and the babies, and they do all sort of things to ensure that. I hear they clear an entire area. I don't know how big. Like if it's a colony big enough, they'll clear this entire part where there won't be a living creature other than on the insect form, and even some small mammals they will kill and use them for food to protect their colony. And that army ant, he even creates the climate and an environment where there's a nursery so that these babies can live. But there's one insect that the army ant doesn't kill that we're familiar with, the gardeners. We know about that aphid we don't like. Y'all see all those ladybugs that recently, in recent times, sometimes seem like, I discovered ladybugs bite too. Yeah, they bite, they nip you. But you see a lot of ladybugs. Ladybugs are ferocious eaters. They eat aphids. One ladybug can take out a whole group of a lot of aphids. But the army ant, back to the army ant, he actually herds, like we herd cattle and sheep and goats and stuff like that for our food and the benefit. We make clothes from the fur or leather and shoes and stuff like that. The army ant, he herds and protects the life of the aphid and the plants that the aphids like to feed on and defends it with his life, because of one thing that aphid produces is a honeydew. It's a sweet nectar that they eat, and they use it for energy. It's their fuel, and they'll destroy any other insect that threatens that aphid because it's food. And if you think about that, if you think about a great machine like that army ant that produces so much, that can build towers, little thing don't weigh nothing, that can just transform an entire area, working as a group. Human beings are pretty much like that ant, right? We transform landscapes, we change the land, and the environment don't look nothing like it did before we were there. And we are the supreme authority and power over all of the other creatures of that land. But we have to eat, and we have to have food. In these modern times, most of us have grocery stores, super grocery stores we go to. But the human being still has the same nature. And the human being is feeding off another capital that Imam Muhammad told us about. He said the term human, if you search its root back to its origin, not human, the term species has a direct relationship to the word, to the term money or income. So the human species even in the earliest of times, was looked at as being something as a source